like to thank everyone for joining this webinar. My name is Pallavi Patil and I'm the Counseling Manager of Division 1 at Akshay Study Abroad Consultant. So I majorly handle two countries, US and Germany. Most of our crowd is for US, but we have been popularly gaining students for Germany because Germany is now becoming a popular destination among our Indian students because of the tuition waivers they get, and students with very good profiles can actually aim for technical universities, even for the TU9s that we have. They have a very good profile and their scores, everything. So today I have my colleague Mrs. Jayashree Suryavanshi, who has joined us from Pune. So we both again welcome all of you for this webinar. And here I would especially like to thank all the three alumni, our students who are in Germany right now, and they have taken time out for us and made this event possible. So thank you, students, for allowing us to host a webinar to gain insights into German education. Now, as the study in Germany is gaining popularity slowly, so we have been getting prospective inquiries for Germany. Recent past, because of the APS, we had some students who were pretty doubtful about their admissions with the preferred deadlines and timeline. But slowly, as the process has become smooth, so we have found out ways to enroll students to the good universities. So now I would like to give a small introduction of each of our alumni. So first we have Mr. Sarthak Upasani, who is currently studying in TU Munich, one of the TU9s, doing his master's in management. And he entered in the winter 2022 session, and he's currently in the third semester. So welcome, Sarthak. I would like you to introduce yourself to the audience.
Yeah, sure. So I'm Sarthak Upasani. I come from Nasik, India. So obviously that was, and I started my master's in management back in winter 2022. And right now I'm in my third semester. And yeah, so that would be the short introduction, I guess.
Yeah, thank you, Sarthak. Then we have Mr. Prathamesh Surnis, who is studying in the TH Ingolstadt, pursuing his master's in global foresight and technology management. He entered in the summer 23 semester, currently in his second semester. So, Prathamesh, would you like to introduce yourself to the audience?
Yeah, sure. So myself, Prathamesh Pradeep Surnis. I'm also from Nasik. I've done my mechanical engineering back in Pune, and after that, I worked in an automotive firm for about 6 months, and then I got an admit from TH Ingolstadt. So I'm currently I'm in my second semester, but I'm not currently pursuing it as I've got into an internship in Schaeffler. So right now, I'm not actually giving subjects, but I'm more inclined towards the internship, and yeah, I'm looking forward to this meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Prathamesh. Then the third alumni that we have is Mr. Arijit Majumdar, who is studying in RWATH Aachen University, one of the TU9 university, and he is pursuing his master's in material engineering. So he just started his coursework in the winter 2023, and currently he is in the first semester. So Arijit, over to you.
Hello, ma'am. Yeah, I'm Arijit Majumdar. I'm from Nasik as well. I did my mechanical engineering from Pune as well. And then I worked for a year. And now I'm here in Aachen pursuing my materials engineering. I'm not working currently. I have an opportunity actually, but I'll be focusing on my studies for now.
Okay, thank you, Arijit. So here we had a brief introduction, and now I hand over the session to my colleague, Mrs. Jayashree Patil, who will have interactive session with our alumni to help us gain insights into the German education system and the process and how it all went about with these three students who are currently in the Germany. So over to you, Jayashree.
Thank you so much, Pallavi ma'am, for the introduction. So let's start with us with our interview session. We have selected some questions as per the point of view of our prospective students. So let's start with the session. My first question is to all three of you that why you chose Germany as your study destination. So first we'll start with Prathamesh.
Okay.
Yes.
For me personally, I really think Germany is quite good in like technology management sector. So apart from that, the like tuition fee waiver was also one of the major contributors to my decision for making my master's in Germany. And apart from that, I usually had I from the very beginning I had a little inclination towards German culture and German language. So I actually decided to pursue my master's way back in like when I was in my first year doing my mechanical engineering. So it was quite fixed into my mind that I have to go to Germany. And apart from that, I have like several friends here who told me about their experiences, their like what kind of what line of work they are in, and so on. So that actually motivated me, and yeah, that's why I decided to go for Germany.
Okay. Now Arjit Mazumdar.
Yes, ma'am. So I decided to come here way back as well. I decided to pursue my master's in my second year of studies, my mechanical engineering, and the study programs in Germany really align with what I want to pursue, and that is in material science. I got the perfect program here, and tuition fee waiver, of course, is a very big factor as well. And it really, I wanted to specialize in something which was not possible in India. I couldn't find it, and elsewhere as well, other countries which are popular. And the language is hard, but it is, it is enjoyable at the same time.
Okay, thank you. Sarthak Upasni.
Yeah, so I also started my preparations way back. Actually, in my second year, I started pursuing the German language. And why I selected Germany was like because of three main reasons. First of all, the tuition fee waiver. That's a major selling point, definitely. And I do not like the second point was I do not like the culture in countries like US and Canada. Uh, it's just personal preference, but it's a thing. And the other major point was the work life balance in Germany. It's really good, and I would prefer that over earning a lot of money because it's better for my mental health and peace. So that was one of the reasons. And another reason was, of course, for technology and management. Both Germany is really good right now. And when I was pursuing my mechanical engineering, I wanted to study something technical related to automotive, but as my interest shifted, I inclined more towards the management side of things. And since TUM was offering a course which was free in management, which is something you don't even find in Europe, it just uh, contributed majorly to my decision to pursue my master's in Germany.
Okay, okay. So let's move on to second question. So my second question is to Sarthak Upasni. Sarthak, how is the German education system? And like, hello?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, yeah.
So, with the German education system, you need to know there are two things. First of all, there are public universities, there are private universities. In that, you find the technical universities, which are mostly the all the public universities, all of the TUs, all of the top universities. These are more research oriented, more theory based, I would say, as compared to Hochschule or the practical based universities, which require you to do internship or have a good work experience before starting your professional career. So if you are more, I mean, it's not like if you get into TUs, you cannot get a good practical oriented experience for your job.
Okay.
But yes, that's the thing that you might want to know before joining, because when you get into TUs, you do not have a mandatory internship to do. So if you're looking for a more practical oriented course of study, which will help you get a job, uh, I would say more quicker, then the Hochschule, the practical applied sciences universities, they offer a lot more in this regard. That's my personal experience. But other than that, with TU, the facilities you get, of course the reputation is always there, but the facilities you get in a TU to pursue a lot of things, they're excellent. So yes, I would say these are the things that you need to know about the German education system before you start.
Okay, okay. Thank you so much, Sarthak. So my next question is to Prathamesh Surnes. Prathamesh, how is the German culture? It's like what challenges you faced during adapting the new lifestyle, new culture?
For me, basically, it was a bit difficult in the beginning because the people here, they are like, for example, in cooking, like they cook a lot different like we do. We Indians, we like to give some tadka or some kind of spices, but here these people, they don't usually like it because they get quite frustrated by the smell of the tadka and all. And apart from that, they also like eat a lot of meat, which I do not eat. So it was always like like a struggle for me to like find some specific things which I can use only for vegetarian things and all. I mean, that's just about me. That is my personal experience. But apart from that, like the German culture is really good. Like I've been to there's one roommate here who is from Heimstadt. So I've been to his parents' house as well. So they were really welcoming. They gave different kind. They offered me different kinds of drinks, and like I really felt very welcome there. And yeah, this that I really liked. And yeah, that's it. Like for me.
Okay. Thank you so much, Prathamesh.
Yeah.
Arjit, do you have any another points for this question?
Um, yeah, for maybe the education system, I would like to add something to what Sarthak said. So
Okay.
all the subjects here in Germany, they work very differently, right? So the exam pattern for every subject is different. So every professor decides how they want to conduct their exams and how they want to mark it. So some may have it as a percentile style, some may have an open book test as well, like I do. So every subject is different. So you cannot really compare it to the Indian education system. It is a examination point of view shock, but you adapt to it slowly.
Okay, okay. Thank you so
Yeah.
much, Arjit. So let's move on to another question. So my question is to Prathamesh Surnis again. What are the opportunities for internships in Germany, Prathamesh?
Uh, like there are plenty opportunities here, but it's just that you need to find them. You need to be very alert. For in my particular case, like I applied for approximately 50 to 60 companies, but I couldn't get in. So since the day I came here, like I came here in April, so since mid-April I started applying for internships or work student jobs. So after doing like 6 months of preparation, 6 months of application, and 6 months of interviews, I finally got a opportunity in this winter intake. Yeah, I would say the job market is quite good. It's just that people need to find the job which really suits their requirements, suits their course, and which they find particularly interesting. And yeah, I'll just give one tip here is that if you really need to get into some uh, working positions, you really need to prepare it from a long time ago, a long time before. So you need to be patient and give your best.
Okay. Sarthak, would you like to add something in it?
Yeah, sure. So, just from a general perspective, what you need to know here is there are internship and there are working student positions. And there are many opportunities. Like Prathamesh said, there are plenty opportunities. You just need to find it. But the thing with that also is like there are things that limit you. For example, your studies. If you're looking for a working student job, for example, you have to look for it in the same city. For internship, you may take a semester off and go somewhere else. So for getting internships, if you're flexible with your moving, getting internships proves to be a lot easier, especially when you don't have any personal constraints stopping you from moving to another place. There are many that we'll maybe talk later in this session, like finding accommodation and all. But other than that, yeah, and with working student position, for me personally, I was looking for the past 3 months, and I was just looking in the Munich metropolitan area. And I did get it after 40 applications. I got around 4 interviews and 2 job offers. So yeah, you need to be very patient with it. The process takes a lot of time. There are many ups and downs. You get dejected a lot of times. You need to constantly update your CV. You need to tailor it to the job you are applying. So it's not like you make one CV and then throw it everywhere and then they will, excuse me. Yeah. So then they throw it everywhere and then they will select you. It doesn't work like that here, but that's the case with, I will say, most of the Western countries. So yeah, you need to be constantly improve. You need to constantly improve on your CV and even your skills that matter a lot, especially when you're applying to startups. Then there are a lot of startups in Germany that are willing to take in qualified candidates. So yeah, it's not like there are jobs. Of course, there is also the language barrier, the German barrier. It's with German you can get jobs really quickly and easier, but with only English you need to look for it. Definitely it's a task, but yeah, there's a good job market right now. And especially if you are applying, then you should apply around September, October and November, because that's when they hire a lot of people. In December there is hiring freeze. January there is hiring freeze, and after that they hire according to requirement. But yeah, September, October and November are the best months to apply for jobs from
Okay,
my
okay.
perspective.
Thank you so much, Sarthak. So, my next question is about the part-time job to all three of you. So, let's start with the Prathamesh first. Prathamesh, how much time you have taken to find the part-time job?
Mm, I personally did not apply to any of the part-time jobs because as I said, like I was preparing to apply for internship or work student position since I came here. So, but as I've seen, what with my friends, like what they have done, they usually go from like different stores to stores. For example, Aldi, Edeka, or Lidl. So they usually like the first step usually is that you need to go to the store and inquire if there are any positions available, and if they say that it's available, then it's well and good. Then you can just inquire further about it. And apart from that, you also need to like visit their website quite often. You need to apply even for part-time jobs. I would say there's a huge competition because every one of the person here needs some kind of job to like survive. So even that market is quite competitive, but still, if you really need to get into some, you need to like develop a relationship with the store manager when you go there. And yeah, you need to like be very fluent in German. It cannot be that you'll sustain just with English there. You need to be like you need to master German really well in order to get those jobs. At least if you feel like it's comfortable for you to work in such environments, then you need German language, obviously. And yeah, that's it from my side.
Okay, okay. Arjit?
Yes, apart from student jobs and internships, there are also opportunities as HEVI jobs called as Hilfswissenschaftler. So those are positions open under professors or PhD students. You maybe help them, and it is less hectic than a part-time job. So maybe you're working for maybe 8 to 10 hours a week. That's it, and they don't pay really well, but those help in your CV as well. So if you are research oriented, if you want to go into some research afterwards, if you want to pursue your PhD, you can really work on some heavy jobs as well, apart from internships and work student jobs.
Okay. Oh. Now, Sarthak Upasni?
Yeah. So with part like Arijit already explained about the heavy jobs, and I talked about the working student jobs. There are part-time jobs like getting to stores, or there are apps like Job Valley or Zen Job that will help you get these jobs, and you don't really need German for them. But there's I work at a store in C&A, and it's not like I need to work there because now I have a job as a financial controller, like a working student position. But I still work there because it helps me with my German, because I need to talk to a lot of customers. I need to talk with the people in the store, and it helps me personally with my German language. So I work there. So there's two perspectives here. You need to earn also. So I get like money from both the jobs, and I also improve my German language because my working student position is totally in English. So I do not. I want something for my German language too. And there are apps like like I said, Zen Job and Job Valley that will help you get these jobs. You can book the shift and you can get the money in like 3 days or in the next month. So yeah, I think there's a lot of things you can do, like going to personally to the stores and asking. There are many Indian restaurants where you can just go and ask. But I would recommend you can do these jobs if and only if you need a like you want to overcome the monetary burden, and not just don't look at it from a like full-time perspective or just earning money perspective. Only do it if you do not if you're not getting a working student position really soon, because I've seen people, they get comfortable doing these jobs and they do not look for a working student or internship position, and then they have difficulty finding jobs later on. So yeah.
Okay, okay. Thank you so much. My next question is again all three of you. So what were your monthly living expenses? Let's start with Arjit first.
Uh, for me, it varies. Actually, it is around 700. I pay 340 as rent, but I stay really near to the university.
Okay.
And everything, the heating and everything, electricity is included in 340 euros in my rent. 125, around 120 is my insurance cover,
Okay.
and around 150 I spend on food and everything. So around 750 is a comfortable range for me right now. But you can even lower it, and maybe you can cook every time. I don't cook every meal, but yeah, I do have meals in the canteens, which is mensa, called mensa here. So it is a bit expensive, but some days are so hectic, you can't cook every day.
Yeah. So next, Prathamesh.
For me as well, it is very cheap. Like I pay 340 for rent, and apart from that, I need like 150 to 200 euros for groceries, and that's it. Like the insurance is paid by company, so I do not pay that. So around 550 to 600 would be my monthly expenses. Not that expensive.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Next, Sathak.
So yeah, this is for students coming to Munich. My rent itself is 600 right now, and with health insurance, mobile bills, and my mandatory expenses, it goes to around 750, 760. Not in that, 780 actually with the ticket. So it's around that, in that range. These are expenses that you just cannot do away with, for me at least. The like you can get a student dorm after 3 or 4 semesters because there is a lot of waiting here, and that gives you 350 as your rent. But other than that, yeah, the starting in Munich right now, I would say, is like 500 euro. If you don't want to share your room, 500, 600 is the minimum that you want to get, that you will get. So yeah, it's quite expensive here, my monthly expenses, because I also like eat out a lot, travel a lot. So it goes to around 1200 euros. That's why I have to work, because I get only 9:30 from my job, and I do not like to leave like just sparingly. I want to go out and eat out and socialize a lot with friends. So it goes to around 1200, 1250 for me monthly. So it's quite expensive in Munich. But yeah,
Okay,
you need
okay.
aware.
Okay, let's move on to next question. So it is about Akshay Study Abroad Consultancy. How important do you find the role of ASAC in the entire process? Let's start with Sarthak.
Yeah, so for me, it was really, really very important because I was not concerned with the deadlines at all. They had to constantly keep reminding me, remind me of it. And also with the documentation, it's very tedious. And if I had to do it on my own, I had to ask a lot of people, and I didn't want to do that. First of all, I also didn't want to like keep track of everything when I was actually doing my job and my preparation for the competitive exams I needed to get into it. So yeah, it was definitely a big help. And also, I would say now, right now, with the ATS, I have seen it's very tedious, and I also recommended my friends to use like Akshay Study Abroad, because I think that it's really important to have some guidance with these processes, or else you are lost and you keep asking a lot of people, you keep getting a lot of different views, and then you have no proper one direction. You are just looking in anywhere. So I think, yeah, it's really important to have someone guiding you, and
Okay.
ASAC help.
Thank you so much, Satak. Arjit?
Yeah, so my experience was really smooth, except APS, of course. That took 6 months, but everything else was really smooth. Jayashree ma'am and Pallavi ma'am were really nice, and I did my own research, and they did theirs as well, so it aligned, and it turned out to be very smooth. I recommend to everybody, like I recommend AACC to everyone I meet, whoever wants to pursue their masters abroad, may it be Germany or any other country. And the process for me was really nice. I'm really happy.
Okay. Thank you so much, Arjit.
Yeah.
Prathamesh?
For me as well, it was quite smooth. Even I did my research, so I was quite sure about which universities I have to apply to, what all requirements, what all documents I need. But with Akshay Abroad, I think I got that mental support, saying that okay, if I go wrong somewhere here, they would help me, and so on. So apart from that, in documentation, also in writing SOPs, LORs, they helped me a lot. And yeah, the overall consultancy was really good.
Thank you so much. So here is our last question. All three of you, what tips and advice would you offer to our prospective students? Let's start with Prathamesh first.
I would say that you need at least B1 before coming here. You need uh, you need to like not actually learn, not actually pass the B1 exam, but in fact you need to actually able to speak German, because in everyday day-to-day life you really need to be able to converse with other people. Like uh, there might be some instances where it's quite important to understand what the other person is saying. So I would really suggest that you would complete at least B1, like really understand the B1 level, not only just give the exams. And apart from that, I would say that mm yeah, you need to come really well prepared before coming to Germany, like mentally and physically as well. So that's it.
Okay. Now, Arjit?
Yeah, I would suggest the same thing. Language is the most important thing here. It's your tool. I had a similar experience to what Prathamesh said. I did my B1 from India, and after I came here, I gave a placement test at the university, and they placed me at A2.2. So the B1 level here is really different. It is like you have to speak fluently, and they emphasize on speaking. So I am doing my courses here as well. I've continued my language course here, but it is really intensive, and I would suggest that B1, even B2 from India would be really nice.
Mm.
So you could be at par here. And other than that, if you have work experience for maybe 1 year, that will be really nice. It will help you to get jobs after you complete your masters.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Satak?
Yeah, for me also the first advice would be the same, that learning language is really important. He told B1, but I would say do B2, because your B1 is like you won't really understand what they are saying here. You will like it will be like A2 really. So don't take language lightly. That would be the first advice. The other advice is that if you're coming to cities like Munich, Berlin, or even like Frankfurt, I'm not sure about Frankfurt, but like it's a big city. So yeah, start looking for accommodation as soon as you get a confirmation from your university, because it's really, really difficult. I myself accommodated two of my friends for 1 month before they got an accommodation, and one more is coming next month. So it's definitely a very tedious process to find accommodation. I myself got, like, living in Munich itself, I got an accommodation after 3 months. So yeah, it's a very difficult task. But other than that,
Hello? You're not audible, Sadak.
yeah, that's it from.
Okay. Okay, so we have finished with our questions. So I would like to thank you, all three of you, for giving your valuable time and the important information, which will definitely help to our prospective students. So thank you so much for that. Now I request Pallavi ma'am to conclude the session. So over to Pallavi ma'am.
Yeah. Thank you, Jayashree. Um, so before I conclude, I have one more question for all three of you. Does the university have some facilities for the students to learn the language, German language, or you'll have to take a private classes for learning German over there?
Um,
Usually, universities do provide the courses which are required, like German language courses, and it really depend. It really varies from university to university. For in my university, for example, the course is like for just 3 hours a week, but in other universities it may vary. And yeah, they do provide some courses, and they do also have examinations for that. So it's helpful.
Okay.
yeah. So even I'm doing my language courses at the university, and I have my classes for 5 hours a week, and they only focus on speaking. At the classes, you only speak. That's what you do, and everything else is done your at home. As homework. Your reading, writing, everything. And the thing is, for my university, the levels, which is A2, B1, they're divided into two. So per semester, you do A 2.1, you do A.2. So there are two levels. So not like in India, you A2, you directly go to B1. They're divided into two levels. So every level is divided into two parts here. It may
Okay.
vary to from university to university for sure. Yeah.
So they are free classes or paid one?
No.
Yeah, they are
For us,
like
it is paid.
Paid. Okay.
Yeah.
yeah.
It
For
is
me,
100
it's like
euros
free
per
of
level.
cost.
Yeah.
And as for me, the TUM has a language centers, and we they provide free of cost training to all the enrolled students. Like he said, there are two levels for every one level, like A1, A1.1, A1.2. But here the university offers both in one, also A1.1 plus 1.2. Just that the classes are like they vary from 3.5 hours to 5 hours if it's two level in one. And if it's too much for you, considering your course and study workload, then they also offer intensive courses in summer. So universities do provide a lot of facilities here for learning the language.
Okay. Okay. One more question is about the climate and the weather. So, Prathamesh, you have been staying there for a long time, so you can have a better idea about the things. So, just audience would be curious to know what kind of weather you have been facing there.
Like it's just been 6 months for me. When I came here, it was like summer, but still it was quite cold. And even in summer, it was very cold. So I cannot imagine what would be the situation in actual winters. So it also like rains quite oftenly here, even though it's sunny or it's like cloudy, it will rain whenever it wants. So the weather here is really unpredictable, and especially as I hear it from other people, like in winters especially, it gets really depressing. So you need to like engage in some activities which would like keep you busy and will keep you engaged. So Yeah, I would say that you need to be like well prepared for winter, especially because I guess you guys might be coming for next winter or next summer. So winter is crucially very important here, like difficult to
Okay.
survive. Yeah.
Okay. Sarthak?
Yeah. So a really good day in Munich looks something like this,
Oh, okay.
where there is not a lot of sun, and there's not a lot of cold, but the temperature, like when the interview started, I was not wearing a jacket. If you noticed, right now it's really cold though. So the temperature is around 6 or 7 right now. It gets really cold during the months of November and December. You need to be prepared, and going out is a hassle sometimes in December because the snow. You don't have proper. If you don't have proper the boots and gloves, it's very frustrating to say the least. But other than winters, the summers here are really good. Get to go out a lot. There's a lot to do around Munich, especially in Bavarian cities, in the Bavarian region. And the rain is very unpredictable. It's like throughout the year, anytime the rain can come. And yeah, the weather sometimes get quite depressing in winters. There's not a lot of sun. Like it's like if you see the sun once in 2 weeks, that's really good sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So Arijit, how is the weather in Aachen?
Oh, actually, the weather in Aachen right now is really rainy and it's really cold. It's like 6 degrees and it's raining. And I'm really close to the Netherlands. So, and Netherlands is a flat region, right? So it's really windy here. So even if it is 6 degrees, it feels like 2, 3 degrees because once you go out of the house, you are constantly hit with a very cold wind. So that is what it is here right now. Maybe it is going to fall to 2 to 3 degrees in the next week. So it's really unpredictable how it goes, and it's always raining here, always, every day.
All right. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Point I would like to add, if you don't mind.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I would just recommend people to get their vitamin D supplements when they come, because like just right now, what happened with my friend was his vitamin D got low, but he never realized that was a problem until he got to India and he experienced a lot of issues. The hair gets whiter if there's not enough vitamin D, and there's a lot of problems basically. So I would recommend that you need to get those supplements because it's not noticeable initially, but yeah, it's due to there's not a lot of sun here. That's why.
Okay. So now I think the people who have joined us can ask the question in the chat box. If they have any question, they can type and we can read them out for them. Any questions? Okay, we have one question that are foundation courses worth it for bachelors?
Um, yeah, I would just give you my opinion. The bachelor's courses here in Germany are mostly offered in German. So you would really need a good German proficiency, C1 level for sure. And I've heard that the bachelor's courses here are harder than the master's courses, and they are spanned over, a lot of topics. So I would suggest, if you want to pursue your bachelor's here, do your research, get into a good program, the one which you like, because it will get, a lot harder once you proceed with your bachelor's here. I have a couple of people I know here who are pursuing their mechanical engineering, It is in German and it is really hard. Compared to India, it is harder. But I would suggest that if once you get your bachelor's done, the opportunities are a lot. They are plentiful for sure.
I would just like to add one point to this. I think for bachelors they offer a different foundation course. Maybe it's called student colleague. So they usually teach you like the entire proficiency required for the specific bachelor program in that 1 year. So they teach you the from basics of German till the proficiency you need to attend. So those courses I think prepare you really well for the bachelor program ahead.
There's nothing much more to add other than that they are really worth it, the bachelor course foundations. But also, I still think that doing bachelors in India is more preferable than
Yeah,
doing it in
exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. So there is one more question. Do you need B2 level for internship? Someone has heard that it is required for you to get into an internship. So is that true?
It's not really required, but it's always like beneficial if you have some kind of German proficiency, especially B1 or B2, because when you like speak in German with your colleagues or with your manager, so it would build a positive relationship with the person you're talking to, and you both will connect on a much more deeper level. Apart from that, there are plenty of English opportunities available as well, but I think the German opportunities require the German proficiency.
Okay, there is one question on accommodation. So how did you all find your accommodation? Was it a difficult task or
Yeah.
how it went about?
It's very difficult indeed. Very difficult. I would suggest websites like VKGezu. You have to, curate a nice um, SOP and everything, and then you have to send messages to several people. You have to open the app every 10 minutes, 20 minutes to look for ads,
Yeah.
because the competition during intakes is a lot. And finding something you like, you have to adjust wherever you can accommodate yourself, because you cannot have choices once you're coming. If you're late, you can't have choices. You have to apply early as applying to the university, I would say. Just like you get your admit, you have to apply for student and work. I applied for my dorm in March. I don't think I'll get it for another 6 months. So it is that crowded here.
Yeah, sometimes it's difficult to get an accommodation as compared to getting an admit from an university. So you really need to be well prepared, and you really need to be vigilant, as there are many scams out there which happen on a regular basis. I was going to be uh, trapped in such a scam, but fortunately one of my friend, he told me. So you really need to be careful regarding that. Unless and until you visit the apartment or at least see the apartment, you shouldn't pay for anything, even they charge like seeing fees, like the fees, they charge you some money in order to see the apartment, so you shouldn't pay any of that. And yeah, you need to apply a lot on Vegegezook. You need to prepare a really good message which you need to send to the owner, and if it's in German, it will be much more helpful for you guys. And you need to be on the app constantly. You need to check it constantly. So that would be my advice.
Yeah, what I would like to add here is that finding accommodation on Vegegezook from India proves to be a lot more
Difficult.
difficult.
Yeah.
So, what you can do is have some friends in Germany that will go on your behalf for the viewing,
Yeah.
or it's better to find accommodations also on Facebook groups where there are many Indian groups that are just there for accommodation, like they are city specific, so you don't need to look up a lot. What they why they are better is that because you have some security, because on Vegegezu you don't know the other person, it's very anonymous, and
Yeah.
never pay money online, even on Facebook groups if someone is asking, because people are just waiting to scam you here.
Yeah.
And I still think that finding accommodation from Facebook proves to be a lot easier. In my case, I got almost 3 or 4 accommodations, but since my friend's friend was buying an apartment, I chose that because of trust factor and all. But yeah, it's very difficult even on Facebook groups.
Okay. Okay, so one question, I think that was already answered by Arijit about the teaching methodology. So it is actually different from what we have in India. Uh, Arijit, would you please repeat for that student? I think he joined a little later. So,
Yeah, for sure. I would give you more details. So I have 5 subjects this semester, and every professor has a different way of approaching their subject, right? So for example, I have a chemistry class, and the professor in chemistry class offers a midterm exam, like after half of the portion is over, and if you score 80% or above, you get a grade improvement in your final exams. And on the contrary, there is a lecture known as process tech. The professor doesn't offer a midterm exam, but the actual exam is an open book exam. So you can bring any material you want, as long as it is not digital. You can't bring your phones. You can bring any printouts, notes, everything to the exam itself. So, and it's different. And for physics, I have 12 tests which offer me 12 marks in the final exam. So it is really different. Some professors here have the ability to change how the subjects work and how the exams work, how the syllabus works. Everything is up to the professor, for my university at least.
okay, okay.
Yeah.
Any other different experience, Sarthak? Have you any teaching difference you find at your university?
Yeah, so the thing is, there's a lot of standardization in my program, at least in TOM. So the exam pattern mostly remains the same. There's MCQs, but it's not at all easier. You have to get 70% and above sometimes to get passing grade. So like just to pass, need to get 70%. And I have seen that as compared to some other universities, the papers in TU Munich and the main campus are really hard. And as for the teaching methodology, it's like Arijit said that the professor has the ability to change it according to the way he wants. He can do a flipped classroom method, which is he provides you material earlier and then explains it in the classroom. You have to self-study, or he just explains everything in the class. There are many things that the professors can do here, but the exam pattern and all everything is standardized most. Yeah.
Okay. So, about scholarships. So scholarships, there are no such scholarship for German because the German system, we have tuition waivers for the university. So I think most of our students get the tuition waivers. Even Arjit and Sarthak. Sarthak, was your program paid?
No, and the special thing about it was it's the only management program, like a proper management program, not industrial engineering, but like proper management program in Europe at that point to have not have any scholarship, to have not any fees to it, but they are introducing fees structures to it. At least TU Munich is introducing, but there is another in Hochschule München, business management, where they do not have fees, I think. But I'm not sure if they will introduce because it's now the Bavarian law has changed for students outside EU. They need to pay, and it's around 4,000 per semester. So
Okay.
just a heads up to students who are trying for Munich.
Okay, Arijit, there is one question for you. Was GRE required for your program?
Not specifically for mine, but yes, GRE is required at my university. At most of the programs, at 95% of the programs, GRE is required. For my program as well, it is going to be introduced from next semester.
Okay, so that's why we usually tell our prospective students that GRE might not be required for few programs, but it is highly recommended. It obviously will give you an advantage over other candidates, and it makes your profile stronger, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, even I appeared for
okay.
my GRE in second year, but I didn't need it.
Hmm.
So yeah, I had it with me.
Also, a little thing that needs to be known probably to students who are pursuing technical courses, GRE is required. To those who are pursuing management courses, GMAT is required. For example, at TUM, they take GMAT for every course for TUM School of Management. So you like need to know what you're pursuing and what you want to give.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay. Fine. I think now we have answered most of the questions, so it's time for us to conclude the session. So I would like to personally thank all three of you again for taking time out for us and giving such a wonderful session for us and helping our prospective students to plan their things properly within the timeline and everything goes on smoothly. So currently we have around 25 students this year for summer as well as winter, and we are looking forward for 50 total students going for this year to Germany. So let's hope for the best, and so all three of you will have some more students very soon joining you for the next intake. Okay. So, the students who have joined here for the first time, they can also put their questions with our administration. They can in person come to the center and inquire about German education and the process. So, we are always available. So, please feel free to approach us in case you have any queries related to starting your German process.